I don't know about anyone else, but my last week has been such a big opening for me. And I'm going to walk through it because I think this is where sharing becomes relatable so that we know that we're not alone. And as like a business owner, you need support, you need to reach out to people, and you need to look at your own limiting beliefs. And there's so many layers here, and I want to go into it because this is just purely where I share from so that people feel less alone. So last Thursday, something was playing out between Maddie and I. He was doing certain things, and I had frustration towards him. But what I realized was he was mirroring something for me to see. So it wasn't his behavior or his actions or whatever he was doing. I actually can't remember why he had annoyed me. But I then sat with it, and it made me realize that he was mirroring something that I wasn't doing myself. So here I was pretending to be on this high horse, going to give him a pep talk the next day, cringe. And when I seen it, I was like, oh my god, this is for me, not for him. And also remembering that we can only shift and become aware of our own patterns. You can see other people's patterns, but that's not your responsibility to take on. Anyway, we'll get there because that was a layer. So he was mirroring something to me, and it was around the concept of wanting to expand but choosing things that contracted you. And his way of doing it was very different to how I was doing it. So it wasn't a direct mirror. So it wasn't like the exact same pattern that I was doing that he was doing. So there needed to be a little bit of awareness there. And I could see, I was like, I'm about to talk to him about, you want to expand, but then you're choosing to contract here, and you wanting to do this, but then you do this here and it brings it back down. Can't you see the flow that you're in? And when I sort of did the pep talk in my head to talk to him about it, I realized that that was exactly what I was doing in my own business. I want to expand. I have these incredible drops of awareness and things like these moments that I wish to share, but then I contract and I don't, or there's things I want to put on and then I don't go through with it. There's certain things that I was just doing. And my intention is to expand the business. But then there was this level of, oh, maybe I'm not ready, or there was always just something that I would then contract my expansion. And so I sort of sat with this and allowed it to move through me. And what came up was a few things of not feeling enough. Who am I to do this? And also being seen fully was another one, which I feel is larger than the I'm not enough belief. And so once I realized this, I can tell you, I think this happened on the Thursday. On the Friday, I absolutely did nothing except binge watch Virgin River and cry my eyes out the entire day. There was so much moving through my body, so much releasing, and there was it was a whole day of allowing all that I had just revealed to myself to move. And during that time, I'd also reached out to someone who helps with energetics and limiting beliefs around business and things like that, because I became aware of this belief. And then I was like, holy shit, I've been doing all of my own inner work for over a year now by myself. And I just felt like for the past year, I haven't been able to find someone who resonates with me, because everything felt like it was pointing to become something like psychic work or tarot cards. And it wasn't just something that I could use to support me and where I was, because I didn't want to become another thing. Like, I've done all of those things. And so the lady that I've been following for ages, I was like, and I've just like received over the last few weeks of like, you need to go to her, go to her, go to her. And so I signed up for I didn't commit to it on the Friday because I knew I was in the storm of the emotions. And I think it was Sunday that I was a whole lot clearer. I'd moved past the storm of what I'd realized, and then I reached out and was like, yeah, okay, so these are the things that I want to do with you. Let's go. Following that, so I've signed up, done it. I haven't started. I'm looking at it today. But since then, even more layers have popped up. And so I went through the storm of the emotion around I'm not enough and being fully seen. And then my week turned into absolute rage and anger towards so many different people in my circle and people not in my circle. Just everyone that I interacted with felt like I just annoyed me. And I sat with this anger. I was like, why is it here? Like, I'm constantly just like driving and people are just inconsiderate and cut you off and do dumb shit and they're not paying attention. And then you see people in the shops and they do the same thing. They're not paying attention to other people around them. There's no consideration for others. Like, are we all so fucking asleep? That was my raging theme. And then I was like to Maddie, like, can't you see your own shit? And like, just sitting in that cloud of, I can see, why can't you? And it wasn't from a superior type manner. It was from, I don't want to carry this. I need you to see it, so this is not on me anymore. I want you to see that you're being inconsiderate and fix it. So that was interesting. So that lasted a couple of days. And then Maddie was like, Tim, talk about it. Like, you really... And I was like, I just fucking hate this world. Like, I was just so angry. And with that, I sat with it. And when I mean sit with it, like, I'm tuned into the body, moved from the mind, because that just kept looping. That was just... got me nowhere. Moved into the body, and there was such heaviness around my heart and, like, energy pulsing through my arms and my legs. And so I sat with that and allowed it to shift. Now, it didn't mean that the rage dropped away straight away. There was still like a current of it moving through my body. But what I then sensed, because I could clear some space, some clarity could drop in, what I sensed was it was around the responsibility. So I learned as a child to, as a sensitive being, I can feel everything. So you move into the room, you're in a relationship, you can feel other people's energy when they're off, when they're there, when they're not, when they've got something going on, when there's something's hidden. You can feel all of it, right? And it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But I was framing it in a way that it was cursing me, it felt like. So when I was coming across these people, which also acts as a mirror, acts as an invitation to look deeper into yourself, I was like attracting them because of what I had going on. So it's like the perfect unraveling for you. It's the perfect invitation for you to see more about what you're carrying and what's there. And I was coming across these people that were inconsiderate on the roads and the shops and just watching your inner circle do certain things. I was carrying the responsibility of wanting them to see. So I was feeling their disconnection and taking it on as mine and my responsibility to almost point them in the direction of releasing it, moving it, seeing it, becoming aware of it. And this was, like I said, a childhood thing that I've learned to do because of the emotional states of my parents. Not in a blame way at all. We all only know what we know, and we can be honest here. And our parents, that generation, was not taught anything about regulation and emotional release. Like, it wasn't there. It wasn't that generation's evolution. It wasn't where they were expanding. They were expanding in other areas, and this is where we're at. So I learned as a young child to almost sense the feeling within the household, within my siblings, my parents, and almost like brace for certain emotions or take it on so that others didn't feel uncomfortable, and try and just smooth everything out. But it would all be filtered through me. And so that's carried on. So then this responsibility of feeling the energy of others and being like, can't you fucking see? Like, I had huge resistance to ones who were moving unconsciously. Now, I am not oblivious to the fact that not everyone's going to wake up in this lifetime. I'm very aware of that. So this was a deeper layer. This was making me see where I was holding the responsibility of others' lack of consciousness through me. And then I could see how this then flows into my business, right? So if I can't hold, or if I'm taking on the responsibility of others that are around me who are unconscious, how could I actually hold space for those who will come to me to work through patterns of a similar state, right? So I came to that awareness and allowed that to move through me, and I could feel when I sat with that too, there was just stuff around my heart opening up. And this like drop of the shoulders, a deep exhale of like, allow them to be where they are. And also a distinguishment within my body of what's my energy and what's someone else's, and allow someone else's energy to just go straight through you. Whereas when it's mine, process it, feel it, but yeah, like don't store either of them, but like specifically for others, it's not yours. Let it move through, accept what is, and move on. So there's that layer. So I went through the rage, I went through that realization there. And then I was talking to Maddie yesterday, and we were talking about, what were we talking about? Oh, just this sense that a lot of people at the moment, especially through social media, like they get up and they do like their 5 a.m. run, and they're doing the sauna and the ice bath, and nothing's wrong with these things. But what we were getting at was everyone's giving out this advice of you should do this, you should do that. And it's like, awesome, that works for you and that might work for other people as well. But can we be more just sharing? Not you should. This works for me, this will work for you type thing. Just share what we do and allow people to choose what resonates, in the sense of like, we're parents and doing those things don't fit within our rhythm right now. And that doesn't make us bad people. Like, I think there is this huge comparison of like, if you're doing the gym at 5 and you're doing the sauna and ice bath, you're regulated, you've got this, you're living the best life. And if you're someone who's not doing that, oh, that's so bad. Like, we've categorized activities into good and bad, and like you're killing it, you're not killing it. And it's like, can we just drop that? And when we're talking about it, I was like, the conversation sort of ended between him and me about what we're discussing, and then I sort of went into my own little tangent and spoke to myself about it. But it was around the fact of, how about we wake up every day and meet ourselves, meet life, and allow life to flow through us, rather than having these rigid schedules, these things that are deemed as good and bad, or productive and lazy, or like the polar opposites. Because in that there's resistance, right? So if I wake up and like I'm just exhausted that day and I choose not to move my body, there's this natural resistance that we've created against ourselves, like, oh, we're being lazy, we're not being productive, I should have moved my body. And it's like, no, that day was just meant to be for rest. And as I was going through this, I realized something even deeper for myself, and it's around this character, right? So a lot of my work now is about anchoring that spiritual realm, the energy source that we are, into this human experience. And so then I was looking at like the identity or the character of Kate, and like most people, we have a range of things that we enjoy. So I was sitting with this because some days I like to be very comfortable, gym clothes, not too fussed about my hair and my face and whatever, read a book, be at home, be a homebody. And then other times I like to look nice, feel good, go out for a walk, go to the beach, go out for dinner, have a couple of drinks. Obviously not while I'm pregnant at the moment, but like there is different versions of Kate, and not one is good or bad. But it's like, as a society, it feels like we have deemed certain activities as bad and certain activities as good. And if you're not doing the good, then you must be lazy, unproductive, a bad person, fucking dysregulated, all of the things. However, if you have a level of awareness while doing activities, while meeting life, while experiencing this human journey, there is no resistance. There is less suffering for yourself, and you're enjoying life to the fullest because you are living from life force itself in this human experience. You're merging the two. So let's go into, this is where I sort of started going, because this one's an easy one to be framed bad. So talk about drinking alcohol, right? We are very aware that this has it's a physical suppression on your body. It can suppress you, and it has a physical response. Now, I love to have a bourbon. Love it. Now, there's two different routes in drinking, and the same as every fucking thing that we do. You are either accepting or allowing it, or you're resisting it. And at the core of every fucking thing that we do, this is what matters, where your awareness is. If you're aware of what you're doing, or you're unconsciously choosing, right? Same with running or going to the beach. You can either be there fully and accept and allow that whole experience to move through your body, or you can be there but you are in resistance to it. It's too hot, didn't want to move, you're pushing yourself to be outside, blah blah blah. So take drinking for an example. If you have resistance, as if like you've built an identity for yourself, where you are a spiritual coach and drinking doesn't fit into that box, then you are going to feel the resistance every time you have one. And every time you have one, that resistance is a thing that creates suffering for you. So, and I've been doing this, not recently, but I have set, since my awakening experience over a year ago, it is like the mind or the ego has created this identity of now you're an aware one, which is an illusion. And it's like anything that is like drinking or can be used as a coping mechanism. If you do that, like it doesn't fit within the identity of spiritual coach. So you are like you naturally move into a resistance into your own actions. Now what I'm sensing is you can be very aware and have a drink. If you're approaching that drink because you're feeling too much and you want to suppress your feelings, yeah, not going to be a fun experience. And all of the feelings are going to be there afterwards. And I know exactly how that feels because I used to do it. Or you could approach having a drink with your partner, with dinner, and enjoy the experience, enjoy the taste, enjoy just it relaxing your body a little bit because you're not trying to avoid or numb or get away with something or cope with something. It's not a coping mechanism. And this is what I was sort of like going into with myself. Of like, I then had created this fucking box myself as I'm an awareness or I am aware. So I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing that, I should be doing these things. And it's like, how about we drop the box, drop the identity, and meet life in each moment. And that means meeting each moment fully aware. So it's not an identity to be, it is how you, it is the thing that meets life, right? So when I wake up in the morning, it's, okay, what am I feeling? Like, is today a slow morning with a cacao and a meditation? Or is today feeling like I'm going to go get some shit done? Like, feel into it. But as long as there is awareness there, as long as you're meeting each moment with awareness, then you're going to drop the resistance. Shitty habits of coping will drop because you're meeting each moment. Meaning, in that day, throughout that day, if you are raging at someone, you are meeting that moment with awareness. So it's like sitting with it and being like, hey, what the fuck is this about? And not conceptually or mentally trying to analyze it. Meeting it with awareness, sitting with it, feeling it, letting the rage move through you, coming out of it clear, moving on. And so this week has just been, like, as you can see, multi-layered. And it's like I have gotten to a place right now for this week, and I know that just because you come to a realization doesn't mean that is like done and dusted and you'll never come back here again. It's a spiral, and you potentially will go even deeper the next time it surfaces. But for me right now, I've come to be aware of how I emotionally hold the responsibility of others. How there's that... Also, there's an important part here. That belief of being fully seen. Because I created that identity of I am aware, showing up for my business fully, I had resistance to because of the identity I created for myself unconsciously. So I didn't want to show certain aspects of life, and not that I'm going to parade all of my entire life. There's certain things that stay between myself, my partner, whatever. But my work is about the integration of being and human. And because I'd created this identity that I was aware, I couldn't share the moments when I was raging, where I was sitting in the mental loops of why the fuck people waking up, or I wasn't sharing the human part of me who sometimes lays on the lounge and binge watches Virgin River for an entire fucking day and cries. Because it was like, this was what was playing unconsciously, I need to show that I'm regulated all the time, and I need to show that I've got my shit together, and it's like, that's not the work. The work is moving through all of it and integrating all parts of us. And so this whole week has just allowed me to see that I can show up more fully. I'm going to be sharing the messy parts of my life, and I did do it to an extent, but it was still very controlled. Especially I feel with the birth coming up and everything that's going to come through that experience, and following with sleepless nights and things like that. There's going to be a lot of human experience that I'm going to have to meet with awareness and accept completely. I'm going to have to accept that I might not make it out of my house for a few days, and I'm like, my hair's messy and I haven't showered, whatever. Like, there's just going to be human experiences I'm going to have to meet fully, completely, acceptingly from awareness. And there's going to be so many fucking emotions, because just the physical hormones that change, and I'm going to have to meet all of it. I can't bypass it. I can't suppress it. So yeah, this whole week has just brought deep clarity for myself, and it's just been a true reflection in my business, like in these limiting beliefs that I have held for so long that have then restricted how I show up for my business and what my business is actually about. I feel like I've gone through so many different versions of what my business will look like, and it's now sitting at this place where I don't feel like I've hit a ceiling. It's more of a expanded view. So we are together integrating this human experience fully, anchoring back into the body and the pace of the body with the intelligence of beyond, with the intelligence of the spiritual realm, with the intelligence of our soul, God, angels, whatever calls you. We are now learning to anchor that into this human experience and be both here rather than transcending beyond it. And I feel like this whole fucking week has showed me my limiting beliefs that have sort of stalled my business. The fact that I need support. You just sometimes need support. Like, we're humans, we need the connection. And that I had put myself into this identity box that I'm aware, and I can't show the humanness when this is the fucking work. Like, there's just been so much that's unraveled this week, and I'm so grateful for it. If you had asked me if I was going to be grateful for the rage last week, fuck no, when I was in it. But it all had to be seen. And like, this is the work. And it's just sitting with each moment. It's just bringing awareness into each moment. It's accepting each fucking moment. It's less resistance, less judgment, less mental analyzing and how things should be. Like, we are humans put here to experience life, to experience living things through us, as us. Like, there is so much here, and it's like, we get carried away with how life should look for ourselves and others, how we should feel for ourselves and others, how we should act, all of these things. But if we just wake up and choose to say, okay, who am I meeting today, or what am I meeting today? Let's move through this together, life. Like, show me, what do you want to flow through me today? Fuck, it can take some pressure off, because sometimes it looks like being late for school drop off, doing a fucking lunch order rather than packing a lunch, and it's all fine. Nothing is going wrong. And some days it's meeting the rage that has bubbled up to the surface for whatever reason. And that's also okay. Or maybe it's one day where you just want to go out and have a good time. When I say good time, have a few drinks, relax in the body, talk to your partner, have a dance, whatever. Like, dress up. Maybe that's what you want to do. Like, this life is not... we put the limits on it as to what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Meet life in each fucking moment and see what it brings you. With awareness, though, if you're doing it unconsciously, this is when you fall straight deep, dark into the habits of coping mechanisms, suppression, and dysregulate, and you come out of it feeling even worse. If that's how you're coming out of each experience feeling worse, there's a lack of awareness there. And that's not just judgment, that's just fact. I hope this met you, wherever you are in life. But yeah, accepting that you are this beautiful human, but you're more than that as well. And that you get to meet each moment consciously and experience every form of life there is, whether that's slow mornings, fast mornings, late nights, early nights, doesn't matter. Just meet it, be with it fully.